one man, a former Asin Central MP, Kennedy Agyapong, at this point appears to hold a decisive key to the NPP's unity or disintegration. Here's why.
And before we are ready, we see July 2027, we no more action. You'll be surprised. You think I'm stupid? I'm stupid to come and follow you guys again? I'm stupid?
Honorable.
We have a 10 cents of credit at the pump. No wait and see what will happen. Miss Romo, me catch Romo, Miss Romo cabinet. No wait and see. I've given you the time. Say June 2027, you see action in this country.
Well, his presence in the party continues to generate both influence and unease. Of course, in recent weeks, calls from sections of the NPP for his expulsion have grown louder after he publicly threatened to spill the beans. The key question is this: why has Kennedy Agyapong's place in the NPP become a political flashpoint? And can the party's disciplinary committee actually crack the whip without consequences? And more importantly, what are the political consequences if he stays or if he leaves the party? To understand this, we must first understand the man himself, his political journey, his influence within the NPP, his ambitions, and the weight he carries inside the NPP. Of course, he's 66 years. He attended Adisade College and Fordham University in New York, United States. He's a known businessman. He's a farmer. He's a media owner. And of course, he is a politician and a member of the NPP. Now, Kennedy Agyapong's political career spans years, but he's been an MP on the ticket of the NPP for 24 years, as you see there on your screen. Now, we can break that down from when 2001 to 2011. He was member of parliament for Asin Now, then member of parliament for the same constituency from 2012 to 2024. And in 2023, he actually aspired to become the flag bearer of the NPP, and he lost. Now, the committees he served on in Parliament, Defense and Interior Committee, he was the chairman of that committee, and also he was a member of the Judiciary Committee, and also a member of the Special Budget Committee when he was in Parliament. And this is where the whole controversy started recently, and this is what he actually said. Quote, "A ferry hospital was started by President John Kufuor. I am NPP, and I am telling you the gospel truth. We didn't do anything when we decided to go and inspect a ferry. They stopped us." End of quote. Then he went on to say, quote, "We will criticize NPP and NDC. That is the only way to go." End of quote. And he continued to say, quote, "You were there for 8 years and didn't complete it. When somebody comes for 15 months, then you have a problem. Please give me a break." And it's been 2 weeks given to him to face a disciplinary committee. And at the end of that 2 weeks, we get to hear the verdict of the disciplinary committee. Can the NPP survive the Kennedy Agyapong factor? Let me start with Kwesi Kwarteng, who is joining me on Zoom. There have been some calls this week for your boss, Kennedy Agyapong, to be removed from the NPP. You are close to him. What is his response to these demands?
Except to say that whichever way, and no matter the editorial objective or the editorial policy, we have demonstrated on many courses that as a party, we love each other and we are one. And I mean, to buttress my point, I was even a bit concerned why, Kennedy made a donation around the 17th of June that brought this whole discussion and in town. And I was surprised why almost 2 weeks we've not given so much prominence to even the incubators that he said. But it appears maybe, just maybe, the media may even love us more than ourselves. So I said, well, Prof, or my Deputy General Secretary, let's attend the event. But whichever way, let's demonstrate to Ghanaians, demonstrate to the media, no matter how the media objective is, how the media even appreciates us. I don't know, but my video has been muted.
No, we can hear you loud and clear.
Very well. I mean, whichever way, how maybe the media loves us, but we also have to demonstrate to the media and the whole Ghanaians that no matter how the editorial policy objective is, as a party, we are united and we believe in the supreme values of the party, and we must be more focused on our projecting our candidates instead of, somebody who just lost a flabbergastic election. But now coming to the substantive matter, let me also hasten to add that Kennedy Agyapong, like any other member of our party, has his views and his opinion. And in any democratic dispensation, especially like a party like NDC, we respect the views of every other person. And same respect is also extended to every other member. And so Kennedy Agyapong may say one thing, you may have a party person who may agree or disagree. That has always been the beauty of democracy. And the last time I made a certain point on with your sister stage, I think it was even the same platform, when I made a point that yes, strong parties are not parties without disagreement, but strong parties are parties that even beyond their disagreements, they are able to still achieve and champion their cause.
Right.
Agyapong is not perturbed. He's still a member of the New Patriotic Party. And let me also hasten to add, recently I have seen reports which attributes to his brother, lawyer Raphael Agyapong, that Kennedy Agyapong has left the party. Thankfully, we have the Deputy General Secretary in your studios. I'm sure as of now, he's not received any official letter relative to that.
We'll find out from him.
So that should tell you that the reports attributed to Raphael Agyapong may not necessarily be accurate. Yes, it was yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday. I attended a funeral with Kennedy Agyapong at Krobo Dumasi. We literally spent the whole day together. I go home around 9 p.m. before I started watching the Ghana match.
All right.
And so far as he is concerned, he has not left the New Patriotic Party. He is still a member of the New Patriotic Party. Nothing has changed. Of course, we can also pretend that we've heard reports of sermons in the media regarding some petitions against him. That is very normal and very natural in every democratic dispensation. I will respect that. As of now, he's not had any invitation to that effect. I'm sure any invitation extended to him, all consequential decisions will be made to that effect. But I have confidence that even in spite of every disagreement in a democratic dispensation, a democratic party like the New Patriotic Party, there are structures to address it. And I have full confidence in the Bawumia-led party. I have full confidence in our leadership. I have full confidence in the entire structures of the New Patriotic Party that ultimately we will be able to address this matter.
Okay.
And maybe subsequently we probably, especially with the help of the media, also focus our attention on the new and the NDC. They promise, for instance, 24-hour economy.
We will go into the NDC bit, but your boss is actually to face a disciplinary committee. Will he avail himself?
If there has not been any invitation extended to you on...
Kindly turn on your video so we see your handsome face as we talk to you.
Initially, I'm sure because you were playing the inserts, so I was muted from your end. So thank you. I've just put it on.
Right.
You see, Kennedy has always been a law-abiding citizen. Kennedy has been a member of our party since its inception. He loves the party, a deeply invested member of the New Patriotic Party. I'm not sure he would ordinarily do anything to ruin the future or the fortunes of our party. The party is rebuilding. We are re-strategizing. Relative to the question that you asked specifically, there has not been any invitation extended to him. So I am not sure it is proper for anybody to speculate For all you know, the party leadership may even feel that at a time like this, it's proper to engage rather than probably even taking the disciplinary route. And I've always maintained that disciplinary committee or disciplinary action is not a death sentence. A disciplinary action is not a court summons. Disciplinary action is essentially saying that, well, you are invited to access us to answer questions on this matter. I'm not sure the Kennedy Agyapong I know is beyond that. But
you thought that he should have been engaged rather than, brought before the disciplinary committee, right?
No, you see, there are structures of the party. I mean, I'm a lawyer, so at least I also have a fair understanding of how structures and procedures do work. You see, it is not as though the party just felt that we have to summon Kennedy Agyapong before the disciplinary committee. The reports that I've read in the media has always been that there has been petitions against him relative to some comments that he made. And that's why I was very clear and precise in my earlier introduction that in our party, we believe in disagreements. We believe in free speech. I mean, remember recently, we're all in the media defending Agyapong for free speech. It's not everybody in the party that agreed with such a position, but ultimately we must agree to disagree. I had my own opinion. People may have their own reservations about it, but our public position was that Agyapong exercise his right.
So you thought Ken Ohene Agyapong's comment he made comes under that category of being a free speech, but the party disagrees with what he said? Is that the point you're making?
That's not the point I'm making. That's not the point I'm making. The point I am making is that the party believes in free speech. So when a party believes in free speech, the party makes room for disagreements. And so even if the party disagrees or elements of the party disagrees with his position, there is prescription for it. And one of the prescription requires that you petition the party for redress. And I'm saying that so far as we are concerned, we have heard reports that people have petitioned. So it is not the case that, so I think the distinction ought to be made clearly. It is not the case that the MPP is after Kennedy Agyapong. No. It is a case that members within the MPP who disagrees, and I've made an earlier introduction that it is natural for people to disagree with others, who disagree with the position of Kennedy Agyapong has petitioned the party. And I am telling you, and I have the assurance that the party has structures to address such differences and such disagreements among party members. So I feel, for me, I mean, honestly, I feel that the issue has been blown out of proportion. It has been overly been sentimental.
Okay.
Yesterday, for instance, I had the opportunity to watch Newsfile. I mean, Samson is somebody that I have so much respect. We are even in a case with him at the court. He's representing the other side. Myself and Lawyer Rafi are representing Kennedy Agyapong. But I felt that the structure of his questions were just designed to kind of set
we would not want to go into that for now. But before I come to Haruna, quickly, just 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
But you are interested in going into
because of time. Because we are running. We seem to be running out of time. So, no, kindly give us some time. Did you see this Ken Must Go, campaign? Did you see it coming?
I saw the footages on social media.
Not the footage. Did you see this coming from the party, for that people were going to actually petition that a staunch member of the party, Kennedy Ohene Agyapong for that matter, calling for his removal from the NPP, from his camp or his side? Did you see that coming?
I mean, this is a very tricky question, but I'll give you a response. I mean, I understand the politics of it as somebody who is politically exposed. And I also understand the principle behind it within the remit of the law. The principle has always been that in every democratic dispensation, people have a right to demonstrate. And I think they exercise their right, which we respect. At the end of the day, assuming even without admitting Kennedy Agyapong is invited and he even honors the said invitation, he also have his day before the disciplinary committee. Okay. That is just based on value. Then on the politics of it, I think it is normal it is really a non-issue. But for me, what is most important for me as a spokesperson of Kennedy Agyapong, who is still a member of the New Patriotic Party, and also as a member of the New Patriotic Party and part of the National Communications team, is to promote the unity of the party. That regardless of differences, regardless of how people disagree with our position, there are structures to address it. And I have confidence that leadership will be demonstrated, just like leadership has always been.
And Ken is also committed to supporting the party to chart that path, right?
You see, your question is an open-ended question. Can you make it close-ended so that I can give a response to you? Because you see,
I'm just asking. You are speaking for Ken at the same time expressing your own personal views. So I just want to.
No, I'm also expressing my views as a member of the New Patriotic Party.
I understand, but we also want to pick Ken's views. Is it ready, and is it going to, follow through the process?
Process of? Are you talking about the disciplinary process?
Of course, yes.
Oh, until an invitation is extended to him, I don't think it will be fair to speculate. That will be prejudicial to the process, if I'm minded to say.
Okay, hold it. Let me come in studio to speak to your Deputy General Secretary. First of all, how is the party taking all of this? Ken must go chant, you went to your next meeting, Alisa Hotel, chaos, and all of that. How did the party take this? I mean, when it happened the first time on Thursday?
Thank you very much, Carlos. As the matters are being put, I think that in every political party, you would have one of those particular issues that you have to attend to. And this is not new to the New Patriotic Party, and this is not also new to the other political parties. And we have, as a political party, set ourselves and we have touted it, and which is true, that we are the pace setters of democracy in Ghana. And I respect Kwesi Kwarteng a lot with the tone and the manner in which he has gone on with the conversation. And I think that the New Patriotic Party should be commended for some of these particular critical decisions that we take and the procedure, the route in which we go about it. You remember that of the NDC in 2005 when they went for the Kofridua conference. You saw what happened. Francis Siemens was whipped with horse whips. The national chairman, Obed Asamoah, was whipped with horse whips. And Bitzidin and co, they were all whipped with horse whips. This was the channel in which they decided to address their internal grievances. But we have always ensured that internal grievances within our party must go through the procedure. The party has received petitions from individuals within the party. And the party's rule, the constitution of the party...
How many petitions have you received?
10.
From Kennedy Agyapong?
10.
10 petitions?
Yes. So, per the provisions of the party's constitution in Article 436D, and if you permit me, I read.
Yeah, you may.
A complaint against a member of parliament or former member of parliament shall be made to the National Executive Committee, and in case of a member of the National Executive Committee, to the National Council, both of which shall be filed at the National Office through the General Secretary. So the General Secretary's office has received that. So he has to ferry that to the National Executive Committee for discussion, which was done. And if you read our party constitution carefully in Article 3 of the party's constitution, per membership, that is right of members. And if you permit me, I read 2. A member shall have the right to be heard whenever their activities and conduct are in question and under consideration by the party. So this is clearly the procedure that the party has taken. And whilst we have referred the matter to the disciplinary committee, I don't think that there is much to be discussed until the disciplinary committee's report comes, which will be a subject matter of discussion at NEC or council. So on this particular basis, I want to put it clearly that this has been referred. We'll wait on the outcome of the committee, which will be a subject matter of discussion at NEC.
What are the likely outcomes?
If I knew the likely outcomes, I would...
No, per your constitution in issues like this.
Until the matter is being heard, and then the gravity of the matter and the issues that are put before the committee that is discussing that, you might not be able to tell how it's going to look like, because the turn of events within the discussion and the report that is coming will determine the likely outcomes that will be recommended to the National Executive Committee. Okay. So it will be prejudicial for me to determine what it is going
the outcomes will be. But Kwesi Kwarteng tells us this evening that Kennedy Agyapong is yet to receive a formal invitation
it is left with me to confirm from the disciplinary committee whether they have issued, because when it comes to issues of disciplinary matters, the General Secretary ferries the petition to the National Executive Committee. The National Executive Committee refers the matter to the disciplinary committee or which any other body that the party thinks that this matter should be discussed with. So when that is done, it is left with the committee in question to issue a letter of appointment with or to the person that has been invited. So unless I confirm, because I haven't been able to confirm whether he has received or not, because this is an independent body that is seized with the power to deal with disciplinary matters. So I cannot tell from where I sit to now, because the Secretariat is not in charge of the issuance of the invitation.
Okay, my final question on this particular one. We saw the minority leader, Afenyo Kane, also at Alisa Hotel. His vehicle was blocked in that video, and people were trying to understand the connection between Ken Must Go chant and why the group was trying to bring Afenyo Kane into it. Is the party concerned about that particular development?
Well, we saw the videos, and the head of security at the party headquarters was asked to bring a report on what actually happened at the outside. But we haven't received, or if my boss has received that report, I've not had the possible this thing to have looked at it. So I can't tell.
But at least you've seen those on social media.
Yes, but I cannot look at the video and see whether it was an attack. But I can say that it was like a crowd management. So once such a thing has happened in front of where we were having the meeting, it is left with us to ask our security details to check and give us a report.
So that's the very video on
what happened. So we need to get the report before we can make an official comment on that.
Okay, I'll come back to you for us to discuss the party matters, especially when it comes to nominations you've opened and your reorganization strategy. But let me bring in Dr. Asante. He is a political scientist and he's been in the game for decades and he understands all the dynamics. Doc, grateful to have you here on the probe. As a political scientist yourself, what message that the happenings regarding Kennedy Agyapong actually put out about the party's future, its unity, and all of that, from where you sit?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. What I know from where I sit is that you have rules that regulate the conduct of people, without which you cannot have any meaningful party. But you must also, at the same time, look at the fact that when there are criticisms, you must be ready to accept them in good faith. From what Kennedy said, I have no doubt in my mind that it's one of the things that party members at a point in time would like to do by criticizing themselves. It is a useful tool that helps the party to set up well and move on. For me, that's how I see it. So when it becomes an issue that you must go through the, disciplinary committee, then it becomes a different thing. But we are waiting to see what the disciplinary committee will come out with. Then we can have a meaningful conversation on that. But I believe that in matters of criticism, the party should develop thick skin and must be able to accept it and move on, because criticisms are nothing but the oils that grease up the wheels of governance, without which it grinds to a halt. So you need them at all times. And those are the ingredients that you need in any meaningful internal democracy.
So you think referring Kennedy Agyapong to a disciplinary committee is far-fetched?
Well, I believe that, yes, the people have their right to send petitions and all that. But I also believe that the party must accommodate criticisms. It is otherwise, if the party go wrong, who can right the wrongs? Criticisms are necessary.
But the concern of party people actually is that such criticisms should be channeled well, not in a public domain. What do you think?
If they don't want it in the public domain, what else do they want? I mean, sometimes these things are difficult, but the frontiers of democracy, they do that. We saw PC Apiofuri sometimes he speaks very tough. But these things are the foundation on which NPP was built. People speak their mind. I recall in many years when Kufuor wanted to contest, people took him on a number of issues. Yes. But the resilience of the party relative to these things give the party the strength that it needs. So I'm a bit not, let me put it this way, I'm a bit worried about such development because NPP that I know, they are not afraid of criticisms because they are prepared to embrace it and use it. So when something of this nature happens and we go on this route, it becomes a difficulty. But hey, they have the rules and they want to apply the rules. We are waiting.
Now tell us, what would Kennedy Agyapong's exit from the NPP or his expulsion from the NPP mean for the party's unity towards the 2028 election? If the disciplinary committee takes a decision after the 2 weeks that Ken is being expelled for, say, a year or two, what would be the consequence for the party's unity towards 2028 election?
I'm not a spokesman for Mr. Agyapong, but Mr. Kwarteng is. But what I know is that Mr. Agyapong, the party will not throw him out. No. He is such a big fish that it doesn't matter the difficulties. I think they can talk in closed doors and then resolve whatever differences. Because like it or not, Kennedy, it's one of the important personalities within the party. And he's done so much for the party that you want to have him at all times. Yes, he's not new in terms of his public outbursts and all that. The party has dealt with these things for a very long time. So I believe that they will not get there, especially when the leader of the party now moving around, trying to extend an olive branch to people. They think that they are being wrong or there are difficulties with them and all that. He has started that, visiting people in the home. That's a good thing. So if this thing comes in and then it takes another dimension, then it becomes a stab at the back of Bawumia. And I'm not sure it will bode well for a party that is in opposition and is looking for increased number of people to be able to restore power from the NDC.
But what would that mean for those, the 10 petitioners who have petitioned the party, who feel aggrieved and want the disciplinary measures taken against Kennedy Agyapong, just because Ken is a staunch member, he's a pillar, and he should let off the hook? What would that mean for those who feel in the party that Ken must go?
Yeah, are they saying that criticisms are not part of the way MPP, organize themselves, organize the party? Yes, they have their right to petition. But that is not, the fact that you have petitioned doesn't mean that you get what you want. It can be a different story. But all that I'm saying that there are tactical moves that political party you need to be able to observe if you really want to maintain power. I have said it and I'll repeat it, that in politics, when you want to have power, you need what? Strategy. You need strategy.
Okay.
So some of these things, you need to tread cautiously. You remember, when Alan left, there are a lot of talk, nothing will happen and all that. We're talking about a game of numbers. Even one can change the dynamics. Because remember, you are looking beyond 50%. So every single vote counts a lot. Yes, you want to maintain discipline, but at the same time, you are careful as to how you want to handle the way things ought to be done within the party so as not to rock the boat more further. So I believe that it is a learning curve for the party. We want to see how they respond to that. But I know that a mass party as the MPP, they will be able to weather the storm and come out with something meaningful that will stand the test of time. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Asante is a political science lecturer at the University of Ghana. Mr. Kwarteng, before I come in studio to wrap up, you are sure that this will, turn out well for the party's unity going forward, right?
Oh, yes. I mean, we disagree to agree. And like Professor Asante said, the NPP has always been noted for that. And that has been the basis upon which the NPP has been built. A party that accepts secretarism is a party that accepts disagreement. Of course, it doesn't also mean that if a party accepts secretarism and disagreement, it doesn't also have its own rules. The party has its own rules. And of course, it's the same way that the party envisages that there could be excesses, and even beyond excesses, so there could be disagreement. And there's a more reason why the party constitutions provide for remedies and prescriptions when such disagreements occurs. And just like the country Ghana, I mean, we'll have laws. The idea about the laws is to prevent people from committing offenses. But yes, so you still have people committing offenses. But of course, the Constitution gives prescriptions that when people commit offenses, or even when there are disagreements on the offenses, people or disagreement on behaviors, there are still remedies for that. So I mean, I have confidence in the party structures. But I mean, in ending, let me also hasten to add that I mean, this is a time to call for engagement, extensive engagement, cooperation. We have to also deepen our reconciliation effort, deepen our dispute resolution mechanism. And then we also, send a word of caution to, party members who are on social media. After election, we do not have anything like Ken's camp. We do not have anything like Bawumia's camp. Neither do we have Brian or Duchumo from Agyapong's camp. We only have one new patriotic party. And our biggest opponent has always been the NDC. And so we must be very measured in our discourse. We must be very measured in how we write. And we must be measured in how we want to cut each other on his knees. Ken, as I speak, is still a member of the New Patriotic Party. Of course, unless, of course, maybe Prof is able to let me know that he's sent in his resignation, which I'm not sure he's done anything like that. So let's protect him. Let's protect his institution. Ken has almost become like an institution in the New Patriotic Party.
He's bigger than the NPP.
Oh, this is a leading question. How can an individual be bigger than NPP? No, an individual will obviously not be bigger than NPP, but obviously the party also requires individuals to build. That has always been the strength of every party. So we'll galvanize on our strength, address our differences, address our disagreement. We'll be measured going forward, and make sure that we present a united and one voice ahead of 2020. And I have full confidence that when we're able to do that, at 2028, Dr. Bawumia should be recording around 64%.
We pray so. Thank you so much, Kwesi Kwarteng. He speaks for Kennedy Ohene Agyapong. You told us that you are reorganizing the party towards 2028. You want to snatch power from the NDC. How is the reorganization going so far?
Thank you very much, Carlos. We began the reorganization by opening up for the registration of members at the polling station level. After the registration was done at the polling station level, we opened up nomination for the contest for the polling station elections. After we had done that, we set up the election committees at the various polling stations by issuing the guidelines to cover all the levels of the elections within our party. People picked nominations for the polling stations. We went in and conducted elections between the 10th to the 16th of May 2026. People have won elections, and we have successfully put them into the role of the party at the polling station level. Having done so, the party moved to the next stage of the reorganization, that is opening up nomination for the electoral areas, for which these electoral areas, the membership of that electoral area had been increased on the 19th of July 2025 because of the amendment that was done for the New Patriotic Party in the Constitution. So it moved from 1 to 5, where we opened up people pick nominations. We are done with that particular elections, which was also conducted between 10th to the 15th of June. It ended on my birthday, which was 15th of June.
I see.
This was very successful, and I think that it was a birthday.
That is across the country?
Across the country. So
okay.
the successful ending of the polling station elections was a birthday gift to me.
Oh, I see.
And I accepted it in good faith. We moved ahead to go and do validation. We did validation last week. We started somewhere Friday and then end somewhere Monday. I think that some others are still doing the validation because of the some of the difficulties in data entry. We are doing so to ensure that there is accuracy of data, that is something that has been confirmed, that is devoid of conflict, that is devoid of personal interests.
Okay.
Places that we think that we needed to shape it up and ensure that people views are much taken on. The party at the National Executive Committee meeting and then National Council put on hold some of these particular constituencies on advice. So in due course, the General Secretary will be communicating to some of these particular constituency by formally writing to them. But this has been communicated to the regions in which some of these particular constituencies, because we need to carry everybody along. Unity is very key, and the winning of the elections is something that is non-negotiable within the rank.
So the MPP has been working quietly.
Yes, we are working quietly. And the next one currently that we are in is the constituency executive election.
Okay.
We have opened nominations for that. People have picked nominations, and we have done vetting. Vetting has just ended. Elections will be happening somewhere 11th to the 12th of July. 11th to the 12th of July is left with the regions to decide whether they are conducting all their elections on the 11th or they are conducting all their elections on the 12th. So 2 days is
but these 2 days, they have to just choose one?
Yes, they have to choose one. And they may also decide that, okay, if you have 18 constituencies, we want to do 9 on the 11th and do 9 on the 12th. So these days are very tentative, which has been approved by the National Council of the party. And we hope that this is also going to be very successful for
July 11th and 12th.
Yes, July 11th and 12th. And then after that particular elections, nominations will be open on, will also be open for the regional elections, and elections for the regional party executives would also be conducted on the 8th and 9th of August, which will be the last inch to the elections for the national executive members of our party, which will be happening clearly in the Ashanti region, Kumasi, between 18th to the 20th of September,
okay,
where my boss will be re-elected as the General Secretary of the party.
Anyway, on that note, we want to understand, you've opened nomination for National Chair, General Secretary and all of that. How has that...
We haven't done that yet. For the General Secretary, National Chair, we haven't opened nominations.
You've not opened.
Yes,
you do the regionals and then you come and open the nomination.
Come and open the
okay, but we've seen people expressing interest, like former chairman of the party, Afoko, for instance, has been campaigning. I think I've also seen Mr. Agyapong, also campaign. So far, how many people have shown interest, even though officially you've not opened a nomination, they've not come to pick up nomination forms and all of that?
Well, when it comes to the aspect of the General Secretary, it's only 2 people who have expressed interest. The 2 people here are my boss, the General Secretary, and the others. But when it comes to the National Chairman, we have seen a couple of other people who are going around. That is, you've mentioned Paul Afoko, you've mentioned Boacha Jako, former General Secretary John Boydu is also in the race, the regional chairman for the greater part of our party, the largest part of support base of our party, the Ashanti region, which is Chairman Wuntumi, who has been worried by the NDC for nothing, is also contesting for that particular position.
Is it surprising that for the role of the General Secretary, we are yet to see somebody clearly come up?
Well, like I said, there are only 2 people. The 2 people are the others and the current General Secretary. And for me, where I sit as the Operations Director for Lawyer Justin Kodue's campaign, I believe that we are going to win the election based on our record and the resilience of GFK for the processes, how he has been able to carry the party in a difficult moment, looking at his age and looking at the impact, looking at the introduction, the innovations, all that he has been able to put in. If you are looking for somebody who is currently carrying a lot of load within our party, then you should be looking.
But those very records are what people are punching holes into. that he led a party into one of the biggest defeats in the party's history. And so for that particular reason and others, he should step aside.
You see, the defeat of our party was more of apathy than a party organization. And you know, parties don't manage the government structure within which our political system sits in. So when you look at the pronouncement that was made by the General Secretary at the time, the input that he had put in at the time, looking at the structure that was there, and you look at the efforts of the General Secretary, I believe that if he was having the power to do or have a lot of impact to make several changes, I think that we would have been working to reduce the apathy. So when apathy is working against you, and remember, the elections that we lost, it is not something that is new. All political parties in Ghana now have lost.
The size of the loss is what is being questioned.
You know, the record has just been broken because there was a record in 2016.
On the side of the NDC.
On the side of the NDC. So who tells you that in 2020...
So you have set a new record.
In 2028, who tells you that a bigger record will not be created?
You are sure the MPP...
And that is why we are coming, because he has been he has witnessed all the difficulties. He has witnessed some of the things that went against us. He has been able to pass through that. He saw the mistakes. And I don't think that giving him the opportunity again, he will allow those mistakes to be repeated.
Okay, let's go back to the reorganization. I know that you have some diaspora also arrangements, opening nominations. Tell us more about that.
Yes, the party also have leadership in the diaspora. We have two structures within the diaspora. We have the chapter level elections, and we also have the external level elections. So the branch level elections. So these chapter level elections are considered just as the constituency level. So as we sit now, as we have opened nomination for the constituency levels, they have also opened nominations for the chapter elections. So in each branch, they have what we call chapters. So if you go to the United States, for example, they have about, is it 26 or 27 chapters? But all the chapters comes together to form the branch. So the branch is the superior body within the external structure, but their smallest unit is the chapter. So chapter elections goes in line with the constituency elections, and then the branch elections will go also in line.
So they will have in the when the constituencies are having the
the same period. Yes, the same period, and the branch will also be having the same within the same period. But if you look at the chapter one. The chapter 1 ends on the 19th of July, but this one ends on the 9th of July, on the 12th of July. Okay. So there is an extended period because we have given the chapters or the branches to have their own timeline for that, but they should not exceed the 19th of July, so that at least they will be able to, because of the jurisdictional differences in jurisdictions. So we needed to make sure that some of these things are curtailed so that we can have uniformity in the conduct of our elections at the external level. Right.
Reorganizing a party as big as the NPP is no joke. What are some of the key challenges you're facing?
You know, human management itself is not a very simple exercise. You need to be very, very careful, very, very meticulous, very, very assertive, and also making sure that strategies will lead whatever you do. You need to be able to draw the plan. You need to be able to factor a lot of issues in play, because political parties, though, are corporate institutions, but they are not managed like the way you manage multimedia. So these are very difficult strands that you need to be very careful and very conscious of how you hold each of the strands. Because in multimedia today, if somebody insults one person, you clearly have a way of dealing with that. But in politics, I can just be insulted. So at a point in time, I told my children and my parents that when you are sitting somewhere and I'm insulted, please don't respond. It's because of the role I am playing in politics. Let me respond for myself if I deem it need to respond to an insult. So once you are a leader, you must accept the responsibility to ensure that you don't react to everything.
So managing people is one of the biggest challenges.
Very, very big, the biggest challenge. And also how to raise funds. The laws in Ghana has not put appropriate measures as to how political parties should raise funds. So this is something that is affecting political party management system in Ghana, because the law is not very strict. the law has not given political parties to even do business on their own. And then the government or the state doesn't provide funding for political parties. So it is something that is affecting political party management systems. You have to have structures across all the 16 regions. You have to have structures across all the 276 constituencies. You'll be paying water bills, you'll be paying light bills. How do you manage your human resource? And that is why if you check in our party constitution, it's only the general secretary that is recommended for payment. The rest of the other staff are not paid. So work of political parties are voluntary. And that is why we find it very difficult at a point to be able to ascertain the financial systems and the financial management of political parties. So it makes people to think overboard, or people to preempt, or even possibly say things that ought not to have even been said. And people will perceive that this is what is happening.
So MPP is currently struggling with financing?
Not only MPP, all political parties, even the NDC. There is no straitjacket funding system for political parties. So it's a challenge for every political party. So this angle that I'm speaking is not just about MPP, but it's about all the political parties. But when you look at us, apart from MPP, NDC, the other smaller political parties are even suffering the more, because not all of them have all the structures. Yeah. Just look at how utilities are going up. And we have 276 constituencies.
How much we have to pay for utilities at your party?
No, but you see the kind of increment in utilities that has happened of late, because the president doesn't pay water bills, he doesn't pay light bills, he doesn't see it. Because some of the institutions don't pay light bills and water bills, they don't see it. How many times?
How much do you pay at your offices across the country?
Unless I ask the national treasurer, because he does the payment.
And it's huge.
But yes, because it keeps on
and this is affecting your finances as a party?
Because we depend on dues. The dues remains the same, but the utility tariffs keep on increasing. It keep on increasing. They tell us that dollar rate is down, but rent payment is huge. Because most of the structures that we are living in within as offices for the constituencies, we pay rent.
So Mahama has made running of the NPP difficult for you?
He has made the running of everything in Ghana difficult for everybody, except himself, because he doesn't pay water bills, he doesn't pay light bills. Ghanaians, our taxes pay for him.
But that was the same thing that happened with...
No, that's why he is there.
Akufo-Addo was in power.
If I was
we saw increments in utilities and all that.
No, but Akufo-Addo...
So what is the difference?
In 2017, there was no increment. His first year, he did not increase electricity. He did not increase water. In his second year, he reduced it by 17.5%. Utilities. He reduced it. In the third year, that he increased it by 17.76%. And in the subsequent years, he did not increase at all. So these are clear issues of somebody who cares, somebody who believes that the people of Ghana must be protected. We must be able to do something that is going to put something in the pocket of the people of Ghana. So, but if you see a government that touts that they will not do this, they will not do that, they come into government, they do the opposite. They do the opposite clearly. What they promised us for Galamsey is not what they are doing today. They have not been able to call for a state of emergency. Today, you will see that they have even encouraged Galamsey. And they are
in which way?
They are buying from Galamseyers.
But these issues have been clarified.
That's what they are buying from them. They've created...
No, I don't think it's proper for us to sit here and say that the government is buying from Galamseyers and all of that. These issues have been clarified over time. So let me give you the final word. Going forward,
even how much they pay for it, government has cut it off and pegged it and put their national communication officer there, and the kind of money they are making there, only God knows.
These are wild allegations that we can't substantiate.
But they can spend dollars in the open when they were never spending dollars in that particular manner.
That's politics you're doing.
It's not politics. I'm just being real. Because
I understand. So you've heard from Haruna Mohammed. He is the Deputy General Secretary of the opposition NPP.